Howdy, my name's Joe. I'd like to talk to you about the recent events in Charlottesville. First, by pointing out something. Every citizen of the United States has certain rights given to them by the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. One of those rights is the freedom of speech. You may not agree with what somebody says. They might not agree with what you say. Both of you may not agree with what I say. But we all have the right to say it, to express our opinion, say what we think. However, for the purposes of this discussion, as far as I'm concerned, speech comes from one of two places: the mouth or the page, period. Although it did not happen in Charlottesville, setting fire to a car or damaging it some way is not speech. Smashing a store window and grabbing whatever you want is not speech. As far as what did happen in Charlottesville, destroying public property or private property, or beating someone up just because they have a different opinion than you have or they look different from you, that's not speech. Driving a car through a crowd of people is not speech. And yet, there are people who think it's okay to do that. Why? Don't tell me it's because you support Donald Trump, because he doesn't support that kind of thing either. And he told you that. And for those of you that are too dense to understand, he told it to you again. And yet there are still people that don't get it. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hate groups all over the country. What do you expect them to do? Name every one of them? That's stupid. It's not going to happen. Former President Barack Obama. What? Too soon? Okay, President Barack Obama posted a tweet that became the most liked tweet of all time. What does that mean? You know what? It means nothing if you don't pay attention to what the tweet itself said. He's quoting Nelson Mandela. And it said, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite." So how do people learn to hate? Could be from family, friends, neighbors. Maybe it's a teenager who's trying to figure out who he is, who he wants to be, and a neo-Nazi or a white supremacist happens to be in the wrong place at the right time. There's tons of reasons why people would learn to hate. So, how then do we teach them to love? There was a news story not too long ago about a black man who convinced some people to leave a certain organization simply by having a conversation. They talked to him, he talked to them, they listened to each other, and it made some of these members question their membership in the organization. They decided to leave. It's not who they are anymore. It's not who they need to be. That's how we learn to get along. Not by two opposing groups confronting each other, which could lead to a physical confrontation, often does, but by getting people to talk to, not at each other, by listening to each other. There's a reason why people gather in groups, why organizations are formed, because together we can accomplish more than we can by ourselves. That's why we're called the United States, because by working together, not dividing each other based on characteristic we don't like, may not solve the whole problem, but it's a beginning to doing, like President Trump said, making America great again. Don't forget, every once in a while, sit back, relax, take a few moments, for a Cuppa Joe. Thanks for watching.